All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Phoenix. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series heads to Phoenix tonight for a 200-lap race. It's race number 8 of that 2021 season. Oh, who's got something for Ricardo Almeida? Is he going to win this one too? I don't know, man. That guy's on fire. There's only one way to find out who's going to win this race, and that is watch it right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, it's the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series at sunny Phoenix. Who's got the answer for the dogleg tonight? 200 laps to find out. Thanks for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. All right, thank you for coming in here and joining me on TurnLeftTV. Got a good one for you. Right now, we are in the practice session. Just about 4 minutes left to go in practice before we head to qualifications. Take a look at the schedule here. This is Phoenix Raceway tonight. We've got 2 races to go after that, Kansas and then Richmond to finish out the season here in the IndyCar Series. So Phoenix is a very challenging track, but a fun one in the IndyCars here. So excited about that. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, the commentator, the broadcaster. Again, Phoenix just a little, I argue it's just a little over a mile, just a shad over a mile in length. 200 miles here tonight, 200 laps, race 8 of 10, and this track located in Avondale, Arizona. Fun IndyCar track. We'll take a look at the track here at Phoenix. Just like I said, just over a mile in length. Banking in turns 1 and 2 at 10 to 11 degrees. Banking in turn 3 at 8 degrees. Turn 4, 8 to 9 degrees. The dogleg, that's right, the dogleg, little banking there. 10 to 11 degrees of banking. See the back stretch anywhere from 8 to 10 degrees, and the front stretch at 3 degrees, man. There's all kinds of stretches on this track, man. Between 2 and 3, I really think that you can consider that dogleg another turn. These guys are going to be able to drop below the line there and race below the line through the dogleg as long as they're careful. Thank you for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Got a good one here for you tonight. Please hit that thumbs up button and let me know you were here. Let me know how I'm doing. Don't forget to share my streams with all your friends anywhere on any social media platform where you can share YouTube videos. You're more than welcome to share mine here at TurnLeftTV. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I encourage you to do so. Go up there and smash the subscribe button. And then also, please go down in the description of this race and follow that link over to the Fanatec website. Give those guys a look. That would help me out. If you're interested in purchasing racing equipment, I have the BMW GT2 wheel rim, the DD1 wheelbase. Love that, man. My God. They got an introductory DD1 now too. The CSL DD1 wheel. That might be something you want to give a look. And again, if you're interested in purchasing something, please follow my link. Help me out here at TurnLeftTV. Well, IndyCar Series. Hopefully we've got a good green flag long green flag runs here. I'd like to see some green flag pit stops here tonight. And I tell you, man, somebody's going to have an answer for Ricardo Almeida, because that guy is clicking on all cylinders here. So good luck to everybody here tonight. And again, thanks for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Peace to everybody out there. Coming up later tonight, if you're interested in doing some stock car racing, you can join us here at High Octane Racing League. Saturday Night Thunder, the Cup Series, will be at Texas Motor Speedway. Man, that is a fun track in the stock cars. 133 laps there. It's race number 8 in that second season of 2021. And again, the Saturday Night Thunder, there's the Discord address if you're interested in joining us here at High Octane Racing League. So it should be a fun one. I'll be racing in this race tonight. And wish me luck. So it looks like these guys are going over to the qualification session. The High Octane Racing League Bushwhacker Series will kick off the season at Iowa Speedway. 125 laps coming up on June the 18th. Man, what a fun track that is. A little Alex Cootie created track, so good job to him. And thanks so much for his work. This is a great one. 125 laps there at Iowa coming up in the Bushwhacker Series on June the 18th. That'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take a look at Eugene Zagladko. He is the first out on the track to make his qualification attempt. .135 is Zagladko's time there in lap number 1. .862, dropping that time down there, so still P1. Take a look at Dan Richter, the Purdue University sponsor machine. 19.731, new top time, so Dan Richter now tops the grid. So Dan Richter, the top time here with a 19.631. Some other guys here looks like they might be waiting a little bit before they go out on the track. Once the qualification session is finished, I will be doing the drivers meeting, so you'll see the banner come up on the channel there, and probably hear a song play over and over again. So Dan Richter finishing up his qualification attempt. Zachman Casey coming out on track to do his qualification attempt here. So the top time is 19.572. That's the target time. So here the 29 car down below that yellow line a little bit. .896. Currently third on the grid for Zachman Casey. Take a look at Steven Miller here in the 24 car. 424. I guess he couldn't figure out whether to go with the 42 or the 24. Right now, he's figured out 20.364 as his first lap time. Currently fourth on the grid. So 20.106 that time, so still fourth on the grid. We'll take a look at Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the white. What's that? What's he got there? The TurnLeftTV car. How about that? Claudio Bardelli Jr. Mi amigo. Gonna have to probably root for that guy during the race here tonight. .389. Bardelli fifth on the grid so far. The 20.407 still fifth on the grid. We'll take a look at Alexander Meshkov in his qualification attempt. He's got that car heating up there a little bit. Looks like maybe burning the right side tires off a little bit. Definitely some smoke coming out of there. Fourth on the grid here for Meshkov so far. 0.4 of a second behind the race or the top time, Dan Richter's time. So 20.199 Alexander Meshkov's time. .025. Continue still fourth on the grid. Butsev here gets his time in there. So Sergei Butsev up to fourth on the grid. We'll take a look at him here. At 19.572 again is that target time. Butsev wiping off that last lap there. How about Pavel Andrzejewski? So Dan Richter the top time, Meshkov, Andrzejewski, Almeida, Spindola still need to make sure they get qualified. 19.783. Andrzejewski up to the third position. .725 on Andrzejewski's second lap. Take a look at Givaldo Spindola. Again, 19.572 is that time to beat. 3 minutes left to go in the qualification session. .7.238. I think he was not sure what's going on there. Hopefully he's got the right configuration in. .23.885. Givaldo Spindola there. he's gonna. I think he might have maybe a road configuration or something on that car. There's right now 3.5 seconds off the top time, so definitely got something going on there, I believe. Ricardo Almeida, the new top time, 19.399. So Ricardo Almeida, our new top time here. Dan Ricker second, Zach Casey third, Pavel Andrzejewski now fourth, Eugene Zagladko rounding out the top five here. So Almeida, 19.305. So it looks like there are our top times. Let's see if we can't get these guys hooked up here on a driver's meeting. All right. We are back. Thanks for being patient here. We had to do the driver's meeting for the drivers, so doing a little double duty here. So we got a warm-up session, about 10 minutes here. We will get after it. Well, who got that big win last week? At Indy. What a huge race this was, man. Ricardo Almeida with the big win. Man, he had to really fight back. He got himself behind the 8-ball there, back in traffic. And, man, this guy just worked his way through traffic. Laser focused. Got to the front when he needed to get to the front. What a great race it was, man. Bezrikov, Artunia, Lasenko, all those guys competitive. And Ricardo Almeida takes a big win at Indy. We'll take a look at the season standings coming into tonight's race. Ricardo Almeida, pretty comfortable lead there with 5 wins this season. Denis Lasenko second, Alexander Bezrikov third, Nikolai Bezrikov fourth, Zachman Casey fifth. You see Dan Ritter in the 6th position, Stephen Miller 7th, Claudio Bardelli Jr. 8th, Eugene Zaglotko 9th, and Givaldo Spindola 10th in points coming into tonight's race. We'll take a look at the qualification results coming into tonight's at tonight's race. Ricardo Almeida top time there, 19.305. Dan Ritter will start in the 2nd position. Zachman Casey, Pavel Andrzejewski start in row 2. Eugene Zaglotko, Alexander Bezrikov row 3. Sergei Butsev, Stephen Miller start in row 4. Claudio Bardelli Jr. and Givaldo Spindola will start in row 5. So about 6.5 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. About 3 minutes left to go in warm-up. A pretty light field here tonight. I think there's an endurance race a lot of these guys are participating in. I got some messages earlier this week from some of the guys indicating they're going to be competing in a 24-hour endurance race. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. rFactor 2 self-managed server packages available for you, not only in the United States, but EliteHostingUSA.com can also provide some servers located in your area, Asia, Europe, South America. So if you're interested in an rFactor 2 League server, great servers, self-managed servers available for you to take a look at. Take a look at our side-by-side view. Make sure that's working just fine. Looks like it is. Stephen Miller there on the lower or that right side screen. Givaldo Spindola, 67 car on the left side. So it looks like it's working just fine. So just a little under a minute left here in the practice session, or excuse me, the warm-up session. All right, boys and girls, it is that time. 200 laps here tonight at Phoenix. Race number 8, including tonight, just 3 races to go. Very challenging track here, a little over a mile in length. Close enough to a mile. We can round to a mile. So get a good run here. Keep the tires on it. Keep yourself out of trouble. That's the name of the game here at Phoenix.
Non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
All right, here we go. The starting order tonight. Ricardo Almeida starts in P1, 28 car. Dan Richter starts in second. Zach Casey will start in third position. Pavel Andrzejewski qualifies and starts in fourth. Starting in the fifth position is Eugene Zagladko. Alexander Meshkov outside row 3. Sergei Butsev starts in the seventh position. Stephen Miller starts outside row 4 in eighth. Starting in the ninth position is Claudio Bardelli Jr. Givaldo Spindola in the 67 car will start 10th. So 200 laps here tonight. I suspect we may see some green flag pit stops. Excited to think about that. Thing can get a little bit loose later in the runs, especially get up the track there a little bit. Thing wants to break loose on you a little bit. All right, here we go. Green, green, green. Andrzejewski there trying to grab that. We got a spin already. My heavens, man. It's like something happened to Alexander Meshkov there. He spun around. Catching up to the tail end of the field. Well, there goes our caution-free race. Oh, my heavens. We'll take a look and see what happened here. This certainly has been something that's plagued this series, I will say that. So Meshkov there lost the wing of that car there, so he's going to have to get that front wing replaced. We'll take a look and see what happened here on the start. Oh, yeah, you can see it. That's exactly what I was talking about. You get up in that out groove right there, and that little light part of the track, and the back end of this car can come around pretty easily. So that's exactly what happened right there. I was just talking about that in the leading up to the start of the race. Again, you take a look, and what's going to happen is he's going to get up into this groove right here, and you see the car just breaks loose. It didn't do anything wrong. It just gets slick right there, and he breaks loose. So hopefully that's the only incident there.
Pit road will be open this time for lead lap cars.
Meshkov going to come down here and get some service done to that machine. He's got missing a front wing there. Probably not the way that he wanted to start off this race, but he'll be fine. A good recovery there for him. Ricardo Almeida, the leader. Dan Richter, second. Andrzejewski is third. Benkesi, fourth. Zaglotko is fifth. So I was just talking about that very thing in the pre-race there, or in the warm-up session. Just need to make sure that you're careful up in that second groove.
Pit road will be open this time.
There's this little lighter area of the track right there. It gets a little slick. I was noticing that when I was doing some testing earlier today. It may be something that comes in there later in the race once the track rubber's in a little bit. But it does seem like the grip level up there is a little suspect. You're just below where that Purdue University car is right now, actually about where he's at. I should say a little bit above where he's at is pretty slick, so especially in the turns, got to be very careful about that. Restarts are single file. And the rule is now with 15 or less to go, all the lap down cars will have to start in the tail end of the field. So hopefully we got that one out of our system. So got up in the marbles there, spun that car, and got repairs done. So he will start in the 10th position. I suspect we're going to get the one to go this time by.
It'll be one to go this time by.
Dan Richter starts in the second position. Pavel Andrzejewski will start in third. Zachman Casey fourth. Eugene Zaglotko will start in the fifth position. Butsev, Miller, Bardelli Jr., Spindola, and Meshkov rounding out that top 10 there. 5 through 10. Excuse me, 6 through 10. Here we go, back to green. Dan Richter looking like he wanted to go down to the low side there. Looking out of the back of Ricardo Almeida's machine at Dan Richter at Purdue University sponsored machine running in the second position. Almeida is our leader. Richter up to the outside line. It'll be tough to get around Ricardo Almeida in the 28 car. Pavel Andrzejewski running in P2 or P3. Zachman Casey is fourth. Eugene Zaglotko is fifth. See that front two kind of getting away from these guys right now. On board here with Pavel Andrzejewski. Zachman Casey running in P3 in his 29 car. He did got a big win in the stock cars last week, and the
Yellow.
you got a yellow flag there as Andrzejewski brought his car around. So Andrzejewski looks like he's in the wall. So it broke loose, it looked like, and maybe got up into that slick part of the track. Okay, we'll see what happened here. So Andrzejewski, now he breaks loose right there in the on the bottom part. So boy, that car got you have to tighten that car up a little bit. Looks like you can tighten that car up. The 83 is a little bit loose. They're getting into the turn. See right here, you see the back end just comes around, a little high entry into the turn, but the back end just slips around on him. He smacks the wall. So Ricardo Almeida, the leader. Richter's second. So again, their caution flag. We were hoping for a caution-free race. These guys ran a lot of laps in the practice session. Didn't really see a lot of cars spinning out here. So maybe loosening some things up here for the race set. Again, what I would do is tighten that car up a little bit. Almeida not coming down pit lane there. Now Dan Richter looks like he is making a pit stop here. So Bardelli Jr. coming down pit lane as well, looks like. Dan Richter in that Purdue University sponsor machine making a pit stop here in the 4 car. So Rzeski still on pit lane. They're taking some service, getting that car repaired. Don't forget the Bushwhacker Series back in action.
The road will be open this time.
This coming weekend, should say June the 18th weekend, next Friday, at Iowa Speedway. 125 laps there from that great track. So race number 1 of the season. We had a little problem with Atlanta last night, so we're going to move that to the tail end of the schedule and hit the reset button and go for Iowa Speedway coming up on Friday, June the 18th. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Casey has that car up to the 2nd position with Dan Richter making a pit stop. Zaglotko is in 3rd. Butsev in the 4th position. Stephen Miller is in 5th. So it looks like Zaglotko, or excuse me, Pavel Andrzejewski, that a little bit of overheating right now. I probably had that car idling on pit lane while taking that pretty extended amount of service. He is now 1 lap down.
It'll be 1 to go this time.
All right, getting to 1 to go. Casey will start in P2 in that ThinkPad sponsor machine. Ricardo Almeida, our leader. And our points leader this season. So he has been he's won 5 out of the 7 races. Casey looking to try to pick up his win here in the IndyCar Series. Good chance here tonight. Zaglotko 2nd, Butsev 3rd, Miller in the 4th, excuse me, in 5th. Butsev is 4th. So we're getting ready to go back green. Here we go.
Green flag, go, go, go.
All right, back to green. Stay on the bottom of that track here for now. Keep that car underneath you. Take a look at Zach Casey here running in the 2nd position. Trying to hold on to the back end of Ricardo Almeida. And out of the back of Casey's machine, you see Eugene Zaglotko running in P3. Butsev in 4th. Dan Richter here trying to get around Stephen Miller. So this Purdue University sponsor machine, after making pit stop here now, closing in and getting by Stephen Miller. Dan Richter now moving back up the grid. You see that car wanting to come around a little bit on him, so he's got to be very careful here. Again, once these tires start to heat up a little bit, and things will be a little bit better. Now Dan Richter up to the 3rd position as we go back live. He's gotten around Eugene Zaglotko. Stephen Miller in the 5th position. Butsev is in 6th. We'll take a look at Sergei Butsev running in 6th position right now. Butsev looking at his scheme. I think I see something really cool in that scheme. Right there, TurnLeftTV logo. How about that, Sergey Butsev? My new favorite driver. Stephen Miller. Eugene Zaglotko has a drop back there. It looks like Stephen Miller, Stephen Miller on the bottom side here getting by Eugene Zaglotko. Dan Richter is climbing up the grid. Look at this. Challenging Zach Munkacy. Munkacy now back to the third position as Dan Richter now takes over P2. Does he have anything for Ricardo Almeida? Almeida now out to a 2.5-second lead. This 28 car, so a 2.5-second lead for
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Stephen Miller coming around here. Getting some word that Stephen Miller is on his lid right now. Stephen Miller upside down. His pace car is out. We'll see what happened here. Oh, man, he just spins right there. Self-spin comes around, and he is on his lid. Look at this, and again, he just loses the back end of this car. Oh, he touches the apron right there. There's what happened. He touched the apron, and it upset the balance of that car, and then he backs this thing into the wall and then flips over on his lid. I'm going to take a look out of Zaglotko's machine. Stephen Miller there. Meshkov got a bird's eye view of that as well. See right here, Meshkov trying to figure out which way to go.
Pit road will be open this time for these fast cars.
So Stephen Miller touched the apron there and came around. Ricardo Almeida on pit road now, taking some service. Bardelli Jr. Now P2. I suspect he will be at the front of the grid by the time this pit stop is over with. So Bardelli Jr., our new race leader, as these guys finish up their pit stops. So really, all single car crashes here so far. Just been spins. This third one we've had here has been just a matter of touching the apron, losing the back end of the car. So Stephen Miller coming back down pit lane here, so he has to start in the rear of the field. So Bardelli Jr., the leader. Zaglotko is on the tail end of the lead lap here, so he's in a good position here. If we get a caution flag, he's going to get his lap back. Bardelli Jr. up to P1 here in that TurnLeftTV machine. How about that? Bardelli Jr. got a big win in the Saturday Night Thunder last week. So can he get a win here in the IndyCar series this week? Be huge for him. Almeida starting in P2. Richter third, Munkasey fourth, Butsev fifth. 29 laps in. We got a ton of laps here to go, and we got a few caution flags already off the bat. This is what's plagued this series here, and it has been just a lot of cautions. I think the IndyCar series was okay. The Indy race was okay, but most of our other races have been pretty much filled with caution flags. Right now we're on our third caution in this race. So we got the one to go. We're going to go green this time by. Bardelli Jr. will lead the field to take the green flag.
Green flag, go, go, go.
All right, back to green. So Bardelli Jr. the leader. Almeida in second. Working from P2 now. Dan Richter closing in on... these guys going to go around him on two sides here. Almeida down below the line. As now Bardelli back to the third position. Bardelli out there on a little bit older tires here, being very, very careful. Again, those guys can race below that line, so not seeing a lot of guys take advantage of that. See now Zach Munkasey on the inside line. Man, this is Eugene Zaglotko here trying to get around. Zaglotko here trying to figure out where he's going to go here. As you see Sergei Butsev using that below the line rule. You can't race below the line. Munkasey there a little bit loose. Zaglotko a little bit loose. Sergei Butsev climbing up the grid, now up to P4. Zach Munkasey just ahead of him in fourth. Kind of strung out right now. Almeida the leader. Dan Richter second, Munkasey third, Butsev is fourth. Eugene Zaglotko is in the fifth position. Zaglotko had gotten around Claudio Bardelli Jr. using this outside line right up against the wall. And Zaglotko takes over P5. Bardelli Jr. back to sixth. Ricardo Almeida leading the field. 1.7 second lead over Dan Richter. Take a look at that 1v1 battle there. 1.8 seconds, so extending that lead over Dan Richter. Munkasey is in third. Butsev is fourth. Meshkov trying to bounce back here after that incident at the beginning of the race. Had that front wing replaced, and now running in the seventh position. Ondrzejewski running in P8. Last car on the lead lap. So he got that wave around, actually. We were talking about having to maintain his lap, but he got to wave around and now back on the lead lap there. So guess I got to figure out what I'm doing here in the broadcast booth. As that net lead now for Ricardo Almeida is now 2.4 seconds. McCasey in the third position behind Dan Richter, who's running in P2.
Yellow.
And talking about Zach Casey, I think Zach Casey might have come around here. So Zach Casey, ton of damage, and it looks like there's another car parked there on the track. So got a couple bits of debris on the track here as Zach Casey. Gonna figure out what happened to him. Take a look here as Zach Casey again back into this car. I saw this happen a little bit earlier with him. Just seemed like he was really trying to catch the thing, and the back end of the car comes around. And then, right there, a ton of contact. That is Sergei Butsev. Butsev could not miss. We're going on board here with Sergei Butsev as you see Casey spinning and Butsev trying to get up out of the way. And then, hard lick for Butsev. And he's got a ton of damage there. Again, he's just trying to pick a lane to get by, and he has chosen the wrong one right there. And then contact, and then hard into the wall for Sergei Butsev. Casey there trying to get that thing straightened back up here in the 29 car. A ton of damage for him. So Ricardo Almeida, leader Dan Richter second, Butsev third. Now Butsev shown in the third position, but like I said, he's got a ton of damage. He's missing the front wing on that car, so he's going to have to come down and get some repairs done to that machine. It does look like that's exactly what he's doing. So the leaders are coming down pit lane. So Almeida going to take his pit stop here, P1. Be an interesting battle here coming off pit lane with he and Dan Richter. Dan Richter, good pit stop there, not able to beat Ricardo Almeida off pit lane. And we got some guys who've kind of stayed out here a little bit. Almeida is the leader. We got some guys running off the tail end of the lead lap here. Spindola and Casey. Now Casey's going to have to come down pit lane and start in the back of the field here. As we see Casey coming down pit lane. Taking some service. Few chatters in here. We're getting a few people coming in and watching the race. Good to see Sonos back out here. I don't know how to understand those letters right there, but go Sasha, Sergey, and Zagladko. Givaldo, also Claudio joining us in here tonight. Givaldo Spindola, he is at the tail end of the lead lap, so he's going to get a drive around and get his lap back here once we get ready to go green. Also, Stephen Miller going to get one of those, going to get his lap back too, I believe. So Spindle actually at the tail end of the lap. Miller will get 1 lap back, I believe. He's at the tail end of being, well, close to being 2 laps down.
It'll be 1 to go this time, bud.
So getting a 1 to go, and you're seeing those guys drive around, get their lap back. Tough break there for them because they are going to have to be out there on older tires. So Almeida back to the lead here. Richter second, Zaglotko third, Meshkov back up to the 4th position. Bardelli Jr. in 5th. So a lot of laps to go here. Pace car is in. Almeida will lead the field to take the green flag.
Go, go,
Here we go,
go.
back to green. Andrzejewski here starting in the 5th position to climb up the grid. So those guys now using that down below the yellow line in the dog leg, and that is legal. Dan Richter had popped out on that restart there. Got a great restart, and I think got around Almeida. Says he did, but doesn't show that on the screen. So Dan Richter really pushing pretty hard there to try to get around Ricardo Almeida, not able to make that pass. Actually, it shows Dan Richter as the race leader as he's gotten around Ricardo Almeida, so we missed that pass there, it looks like. Take a look here. He goes down below that yellow line there, using that inside, and a good side-by-side race. Oh, right there, a little contact between Almeida and Richter. Now Richter takes over the race lead. So we got a new race leader, and that is Dan Richter in that Purdue University sponsor machine. Pavel Andrzejewski trying to pick up a couple spots here. Running behind Alexander Meshkov. Meshkov climbing up the track there just a little bit as Andrzejewski closing in. Stephen Miller here racing Zach Casey. Stephen Miller down to the inside line. Zach Casey up on the outside line. Got to be very careful up there. And Stephen Miller takes that position now up to P9. So Dan Richter, the race leader. Almeida in 2nd, Zaglotko 3rd. Meshkov in 4th, Andrzejewski is in 5th. Those guys sort of running away from it now. Looks like Almeida, though, a little bit stronger on the long runs here. We'll see what kind of changes Dan Richter's made to his machine. Of course, he's gotten the car up front here now, but Almeida not letting him get away. Zaglotko in P3, kind of out there by himself right now. About 2.3 seconds behind the race leader. Meshkov is in 4th. He and Andrzejewski having a little battle right now. Andrzejewski running in P5. Again, looking ahead at the Alexander Meshkov and that S&P racing machine. Andrzejewski down to the inside there, downshifting here, trying to get a good run, and again, not using that below that yellow line, which is in play. Butsev here trying to bounce back. Butsev definitely using that inside. Got a run there, had to scrub off some speed coming off. So Butsev in the 6th position. Bardelli Jr. running in P7 right now. Kind of out there by himself. Givaldo Spindler running in P8. Stephen Miller going to go by and Actually, Stephen Miller running in P9. Spindola up the track there a little bit. We'll take a look at Stephen Miller here in the 24 car. So Dan Richter and Ricardo Almeida battling for the lead. Almeida down to the inside. He's wanting to get back up front here. Dan Richter now starting to rack up some laps led. Almeida is in second, two-tenths of a second back. Meshkov and Butsev here battling it out. Butsev on the inside line, Meshkov up on the outside line. Oh, Meshkov, he spun that car. I told you to get up in that gravel up there, and the thing gets really slick, and he smacks the wall, gives up that position. Take a look at this again. You watch as he gets up in this outside line in the turn, way up the track right now, and then he trying to catch this car. Does a great job. Gets a little bit of help from the wall, but now going to have a little bit of right side damage. So Butsev taking that position. Stephen Miller here trying to get around Givaldo Spindola. Spindola off the pacer a little bit. And so Butsev gets around. Excuse me, Stephen Miller gets around. Ricardo Almeida wanting by this Purdue University sponsor machine. Dan Richter running in P1. Almeida in the 28 running in P2. Maybe running behind somebody might make that car behave a little bit differently. He hasn't seemed to be able to find a way to get around Dan Richter. Now, Dan Richter loves IndyCars here, too. So if you're going to see somebody who's prepared for this race, it's going to maybe give Ricardo Almeida a run for his money. That is going to be Dan Richter. Zach Casey getting around Givaldo. Givaldo there off the pacer just a little bit as Casey making that pass. You see Givaldo tucking in. Casey now up to the 9th position. Take a look at Eugene Zaglotko here running in the 3rd position, kind of out there by himself right now. He is about 6 seconds off the pace. Off the race leader. But good top 3 run for him so far. Richter running away here just a little bit, opening up a little bit more of a gap, 4/10 of a second. Again, it does seem like this car is pretty strong up front here. Maybe clean air is helping. See Stephen Miller there touching the apron, scrubbing off a little bit of speed. He went in a little bit harder. Keep it down to that bottom line. Take a look at Claudio Bardelli Jr. here running in the 7th position. Again, kind of out there by himself. Zach Casey just behind him. Now Zach running in 9th is 1 lap down. So we got 3 cars that are off the lead lap. That is Stephen Miller, Zach Casey, Givaldo Spindola. Clear track ahead here for Dan Richter, looking out of the back of his machine at Ricardo Almeida. Almeida there closing in 2/10 of a second now, so maybe dropping back, cooling those tires off a little bit, saving his stuff, and now down to the inside, looking to try to take this pass. Dan Richter going to give him a lot of room. Almeida using that inside and taking over the lead. Dan Richter now back to 2nd. That's the way you pull off a pass, and also, when you're getting past, that's the way to react right there. Don't crowd that guy on the inside. Dan Richter gave him a lot of room, realizes that he was a little bit faster, and going to let him take off here for now. Let him have that, and then a long race here, 69 laps in. So Dan Richter now falling back here about 8/10 of a second back. So maybe Almeida, that's all he needed to get that clean air. And now pushing a second lead over Dan Richter. Again, Zagladko running in the third position. He's 10 seconds back. Again, kind of by himself right now. Not a lot of company for Eugene Zagladko. These guys have kind of figured out, hey, man, where do it run on this track and make sure they stay in the groove and not get out and get loose. Take a look at Pavel Andrzejewski running in the fourth position. Sergei Butsev just behind him, so closest battle on the track right now is for the fourth position. Butsev running in fifth. So on board here with Sergei Butsev, and you see these guys downshifting. Man, I tell you what, Andrzejewski scrubbed off a little bit of speed coming off the turn. Butsev trying to bounce back after having some trouble there earlier in the race. Right now running in the fifth position. Meshkov running in P6 in this 7 car. Ian Bardelli Jr. about a second off of each other. Bardelli Jr. running in the 7th position. So Ricardo Almeida continuing to lead here, or back to the lead, I should say, and now pulling away 1.3 second lead over Dan Richter. Last car on the lead lap is Claudio Bardelli Jr. running in the 7th position. He is 19 seconds off the race lead. He's about 7/10 behind P6. That's Alexander Meshkov. Looking out of the back of his machine, and Almeida is on the way. So he wants to try to maintain some, in case he gives him a lot of room right there. He wants to maintain this position here and not get lapped, but Almeida is picking him up and putting him down right now. See Almeida looking out of the front of Almeida's car at Claudio Bardelli Jr. Meshkov up there as well. Spindola running in the 10th position, that third car up there. Spindola, a lot of room here for Alexander Meshkov. Spindola up the track there a little bit. 2 laps down, Givaldo is. Right now running in P10. See Bardelli Jr. trying to get by. Almeida now closing in. And Bardelli Jr. trying to put him a lap down. 1.5 second lead over Dan Richter right now. And, Almeida is in traffic here, so it's a little bit of time here to think about, what your priorities are. Do you want to get around right away, or you want to be patient here? Almeida, it looks like he wants to get around right away, and he goes down to the bottom side, getting around Claudio Bardelli Jr. Dan Richter saying, I was hoping he'd have a little bit more trouble than that with that lap down car. He is 1.4 seconds behind. So right now, Richter got a good second place run, and he's led some laps here tonight. Gladko's got a pretty good run here going. He's in the 3rd position. Now, he is 15 seconds down, but out there by himself running in P3. Andrzejewski trying to close in, running in the 4th position, 16 seconds back, but Butsev keeping him honest. Butsev running in the 5th position. Take a look at Stephen Miller just behind Butsev. Now Stephen Miller running in the 8th position, 1 lap down. In that 24 car. And Casey, after some contact with the wall, getting that car repaired. Running in P9, 2 laps down. Pretty extensive repairs done to that machine. 1.4 seconds. He's not been able to run away from Dan Richter. He opened up a little bit of a gap there, but that gap has been maintained. Dan Richter, if anything, chopped into that a little bit. So Richter running in the second position. He's got a little bit of lap traffic to deal with. Looking out of the front of Dan Richter's machine, a little lap traffic here for him. That's going to hurt his effort just a little bit. Not too much nonsense going on right there, but he does get around Bardelli Jr. Dan Richter now getting around Alexander Meshkov. Meshkov giving him a lot of room. Bardelli Jr. is going to use that opportunity to get by Alexander Meshkov. So Bardelli Jr. now taking over that spot as Alexander Meshkov back to the 7th position. Bardelli Jr. Oh, this battle's not over. Meshkov wants that back, and he's not going to be able to get it that time by. So Claudio Bardelli Jr. used that that lead lap car and followed Dan Richter through and gets around Meshkov. Meshkov kept him honest, though. Trying to get back by on the inside line and not able to pull that off as Bardelli Jr. holding on to that spot. Boy, it looked like Meshkov was going right back after it. Almeida now up to a 2.2 second lead over Dan Richter. So the longer this run goes on, the more it seems like this yellow number 28, Ricardo Almeida, starts to pull away a little bit. Pavel Andrzejewski, Eugene Zaglotko here battling it out. Andrzejewski to the inside in this 83 car, pulls off that pass. Zaglotko now back to 4th. Take a look at this from on board here with Eugene Zaglotko. Zaglotko to the inside, and Andrzejewski's going to use this opening and get by. There's that pass we were looking at. Looking out of the front of, who are we looking at right now? Sergei Butsev, there we go. He's watching that battle just ahead of him. And that got messy right there. That got messy. Almeida is trying to weave his way through traffic here. And he gets by. Wow, that got crazy right there. Is Ricardo Almeida coming up on traffic. Dan Richter's saying, hey man, but give me a little bit more room, boys. Richter there down to the inside. Going to get by as he had a little bit of work to do. As Zaglotko running in P4, so we got only 3 cars on the lead lap right now. Andrzejewski on the lead lap, but he has got some work to do. Butsev on pit lane right now, taking some service, so we got some green flag pit stops going on. Sergei Butsev on pit lane. That may start the train of pit stops. As Butsev coming back out on track after making pit stop. He had a little bit of overheating there with being on pit lane, running the engine, revving the engine there. So he's going to have to hope that that car cools down a little bit, or he's going to end up losing the engine. Ricardo Almeida continuing to lead. Butsev just making pit stop now. Dan Richter now 2.7 seconds back in the 2nd position.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
We got a yellow flag here, and I had a feeling so we got a yellow flag. as Meshkov might have been involved. Looks like Meshkov there involved in the 7 car. Zaglotko also involved. Zaglotko's lost the back wing of this car, so this thing's all over the place right now. So caution flag. We started getting some green flag pit stops going on. See what happened here. Zaglotko gets way up the track and then when he comes across the track, I don't know whether he was trying to pit or what, but Meshkov just absolutely annihilates him. Watch this, he gets way up the track, and I don't know whether he was trying to come down pit lane or what, but he comes across the track and Meshkov gets into him. Meshkov, ton of damage there for him. He was just trying to figure out what the heck was going on right here. It looked like Zaglotko was going to come down pit lane. He was supposed to pit going into 3, and Meshkov just absolutely annihilates him. Watch this. Meshkov has nowhere to go. Contact for him, and then, oh my heavens, man.
Pit road will be open this time.
See what Zachman Casey saw right here. You see that unfold right there. Then parts and pieces flying everywhere. Meshkov, hopefully he's okay. My heavens, that was a hard lick. So we're getting some guys coming down pit lane here. Now Zaglotko is on pit lane taking service, but it looked like he tried to pit coming off turn 4. So our front 2 here on pit lane together. So Zaglotko there getting the rear wing put back on that car. Ton of damage there for him. So Zaglotko has a penalty, it looks like, maybe because he did not, he was supposed to go around or catch back up to the pace car, but had a ton of damage. He spun out. So the top 5 here, we have Almeida, Richter, Andrzejewski, Bardelli Jr., Meshkov. Now, those guys coming down pit lane here, so Bardelli Jr. on pit lane. Meshkov and Miller on pit lane. Might have been some shenanigans on pit lane there, it sounds like.
It'll be 1 to go this time by.
So we're getting to one to go as Ricardo Almeida, the leader. Dan Richter in second. Andrzejewski is third. Those guys all on the lead lap. Bardelli Jr. fourth, Meshkov fifth. So just a little over halfway. Guys had a pretty good green flag run there, and just as we were starting to get through green flag pit stops, we had a caution flag. All right, back to green. Remember, Dan Richter had a little bit for Almeida earlier in the run. Almeida the inside. Down on that dog leg below the yellow line. Meshkov and Bardelli Jr. here battling it out. Meshkov in the 7 car down to the inside. Bardelli Jr. up on the outside line, that TurnLeftTV sponsor machine. Meshkov's going to pull off this pass, it looks like. Dan Richter there really putting a lot of pressure on Ricardo Almeida right now. Down to the inside here, Dan Richter trying to get around Almeida, not able to do it that time by Almeida using that outside line, getting a run. Oh, he touches the apron there, so Richter's got a run here on Ricardo Almeida. Coming into turn 1. Almeida holds off Dan Richter's charge that time by. Almeida the leader, Richter second. Andrzejewski is in third. Meshkov running in the 4th position. Bardelli Jr. running in 5th. Butsev running in the 6th position. Munkasi is 7th. Stephen Miller 8th. Eugene Zaglotko 9th. Givaldo Spindola is in 10th. Almeida's lead now 1.1 second over Dan Richter. Andrzejewski 5.5 seconds down in the 3rd position. Meshkov 1 lap down in 4th. Bardelli Jr. also 1 lap down, running in the 5th position. Take a look at Alexander Meshkov. Been an eventful night here for him. At that single car spin earlier in the race and then got caught up in an accident here just a little while ago. But right now running in the 4th position. Bardelli Jr. rounding out the top 5. See out of the back of his car, Eugene Zaglotko. Now Zaglotko actually running in the 9th position, 4 laps down, looking on the bottom side here, trying to get around Bardelli Jr. He wants to get a little racy, even though this isn't full position. See Zach Munkasi down there as well. Bardelli Jr. does the wise thing here, realizes it's not full position, let him have it. Zach Munkasi here in the 29 car. Coming off the dog leg. Touches the apron a little bit through the turn. Stephen Miller just behind him. Stephen Miller getting by. Oh, Munkasi hits the outside wall. Stephen Miller goes by. Stephen Miller now in the 7th position. Munkasi back to 8th. Now watch out at the front of Stephen Miller's machine. Munkasi just slides up the track there. Gets a little bit loose. Catches it. And then holds on to the thing, but loses a position. Now probably has a little bit of damage there. Looks like he made some contact with the outside wall. .5 second lead for Ricardo Almeida. Dominant this season. Won 5 races, looking to make it 6 races this season. 5-second lead over Dan Richter. Richter might be on some tire save strategy. Who knows? So he's 5.3 seconds back. So right now running in P2. On Raszewski having a pretty good race here. He got a bogus penalty where it had to clear up for him. So somebody was basically not where they were supposed to be there on that caution. But he's now in the 3rd position. And that 83 car, 12 seconds down to the race leader. So he's got a shot, man. You never know what goes on here. But Almeida, man, showing some strength here late in the race here. Climbing away from Dan Richter. 7 seconds down is P2. Now, that's Dan Richter in that Purdue University sponsor machine. Raszewski 3rd, Meshkoff 4th. Bardelli Jr. is 5th. You got to be wondering now, you know, as you start thinking about lap traffic here with Almeida, he's got to be very careful here not to push this car too much. Really no sense in, you know, using your stuff up here, and it does look like, you know, we might have a little bit of a long green flag run on this one. A fairly decent green flag run this last time before we had the caution flag. So, you know, the trick is you know, save your stuff. You never know. And that may be what Dan Richter's doing. He might be seeing that, hey, this thing's got a green flag feel to it. I'm going to save my car. Hopefully Almeida's going to run the tires off this thing. That battle there for 2nd position is going to start heating up here as Dan Richter continuing to lose ground on the leader. But on Raszewski, only 6.4 seconds down to Dan Richter. So P3 might start heating up here a little bit. P3, P2. Take a look at Sergei Butsev running in the 6th position. Now he is 2 laps down. He is racing Claudio Bardelli Jr., who was just ahead of him. A fair distance, but nonetheless, kind of get an idea of where Bardelli Jr. is at, where Bardelli Jr. gets around. Not for position, but we'll take a look here. Here's Bardelli Jr., and then we'll wait for Butsev to come around. He's got a fair distance there. But they are on the same lap, 2 laps down, so there's about 12-second gap there between the two of those guys, and there we go, right there. So Butsev's got some work to do if he's going to close in on Bardelli Jr. He is 11.5 seconds behind him. Zach Casey here running in the 8th position. Right now, 3 laps down. He and Stephen Miller on the same lap. Stephen Miller running in P7. About 6 seconds separating the two of those guys. Eugene Zagladko, 4 laps down. Only guy 4 laps down right now, and the car behind him is Givaldo Spindola. He is 6 laps down right now. Almeida now down below that yellow line, running in some lap traffic here. You got to be very careful looking out of the front of his machine. Eugene Zagladko, Alexander Meshkoff just ahead. And this guy's got to be looking in the rearview mirror, seeing the race leader, probably getting a blue flag here as the race leader goes down to the inside. So now looking out of the back of Almeida's machine at Eugene Zagladko. Almeida now sets his sights on Alexander Meshkoff. Meshkoff already 1 lap down, looking to maybe try to preserve that. Almeida trying to put him another lap down. Richter now 14 seconds back in P2. And that gap between Richter and Andrzejewski has closed a pretty significant amount. Andrzejewski now only 3 seconds behind Dan Richter. He can see him down that front stretch. Andrzejewski might have made a little bit of contact with the wall coming off the turn, and we got a spin. Zachman Casey looks like he's come around here. Take a look and see what happened here to Zachman Casey. Again, he just lost the back end of the car, breaks loose. And then, oh, he just gets annihilated right there. Absolutely annihilated. Not sure who that was that got him, but that was a ton of damage here for him. Ton of damage for him. He's hoping he doesn't get hit again. So the back end of the car just came around. I don't know who smacked him, but somebody got him pretty good. So McCasey's retired his machine, unfortunately.
Pit road will be open this time. Release that car.
So we're getting some pit stops on the way. Unfortunately, Zachman Casey had to retire his machine after second caution flag here. We have 135 laps in the books. Scheduled for 200 tonight. Ricardo Almeida coming down pit lane. Now this is probably the caution flag that I think Dan Richter probably wanted to see, because it gives him a chance to sort of hit the reset button here, get back up to Ricardo Almeida and give him a run for his money. Almeida coming around here to duck into pit lane in his pit stall. See Almeida coming off pit lane here. Dan Richter taking service. And McCasey has retired his machine.
Pit road will be open this time.
Zaglotko has retired his machine too, so unfortunately I don't know what's going on there with him, but Eugene Zaglotko retired. Now he was, I guess he was 2 laps down, or 5 laps down, so he's retired his machine. Not sure what happened to Eugene. Or Eugene retired from the racing surface, it looks like. So something's happened to Eugene there. I'm not sure what went on there, but Eugene came down pit lane. So he did come down pit lane. That's for sure. He took a pit stop here, and I'm not sure what happened to him, but he retired his machine after coming off pit lane. Maybe there was some contact on pit lane between he and another car. So we hear him come back out. And he comes around and then just retires his machine. So I'm not sure what happened there to Zaglotko when you're supposed to come down pit lane and retire that machine if you're going to do so.
It'll be 1 to go this time, bye.
So we're getting a 1 to go as got some cars that get a lap back, it looks like. Almeida the leader. Richter in second. Andrzejewski is in third. Now Andrzejewski on the lead lap there, running in P3. Meshkov, Bardelli, Jr., Butsev 1 lap down. Stephen Miller 3 laps down. Spindola is 6 laps down. So now we got to wonder, is Dan Richter, is he going to pick up the pace here a little bit and try to hang on to the back end of Ricardo Almeida as we go back green? Richter following Almeida down below that yellow line in the dog leg. Richter to the outside, tucks back in, and he's got a run on Almeida. Oh, there's contact right there. Contact, Almeida in the wall, and I think it looked like Richter might have gotten into the back of him. Might have gotten into the back of him there, Almeida. Dan Richter might have gotten into the back of Ricardo Almeida. Is Almeida hard into the wall. So we're back to yellow. It was a pretty hard look for Ricardo Almeida. There was just contact between he and the 4 car. See right here as they're, Richard just keeps going, gets into the back of Almeida. There's a good run there, and Almeida hard lick into the wall. See, Richter just has a run right here, and he gets into the back of Almeida as Almeida coming down to below that yellow line. And then, straight into the wall. Board here with Dan Richter. He just had a run there, and I don't know if he expected to just made a mistake, it looked like. So you watch this out of the front of Pavel Andrzejewski's machine, and those guys getting into one another. So hard lick for Ricardo Almeida. For some reason, it looks like we are running under full song here. Dan Richter, I thought we had a caution flag there. I don't think we went back green, but maybe we did. Might have missed that. So it does look like we're back green there. I might have missed that. I'm sorry about that. So taking a look at that, I didn't think we went back green yet, but Almeida now 2 laps down, so maybe we didn't have a caution flag. Man, I'm clueless. What the hell happened? So Dan Richter to the lead. Andrzejewski is second. Butsev third. Meshkov fourth. Bardelli Jr. is fifth now. So Almeida 2 laps down. As Dan Richter got into the back of him, and I thought we had a caution flag come out. Maybe I just saw him get in and I just assumed we had one. I didn't hear it. That's a broadcaster's problem right there, huh? Old and senile. Andrzejewski in the second position. Butsev is in third. Almeida's got a serious amount of work to do. He's gotten that car fixed. He's now back on track. And if anybody can get get this thing down or get back on the lead lap with being 2 laps down here on lap 151. It's going to be the 28 car. No caution flag on that. That was strange. Will D saying just because they were below that line. Andrzejewski in second. Butsev in the third position. Meshkov fourth. Bardelli Jr. in fifth. My heavens. Big shake-up here. So getting the official take on this is no caution because he was below the yellow line. So there you go. So Richter, Andrzejewski, Butsev, Meshkov, Bardelli Jr. the top 5. Almeida, Miller, Spindola, and then we got 2 cars out of the race. Zagladko and Munkesi out of the race. Low turnout today. We had looks like I got word earlier this week that there was a 24-hour endurance race going on the same time, so we're missing a lot of our Russian drivers. I think they're competing in that. Meshkov said, I don't have anything for that, man. Butsev coming out as well. Don't forget about Zagladko coming out here. Andrzejewski, of course, running in P2. We'll take a look at Pavel Andrzejewski. Here on lap 157. 5.3 seconds behind Dan Richter. Butsev, our third place car. Meshkov in fourth. Bardelli Jr. in the 5th position. So those guys all 1 lap down. Get an idea of where Alexander Meshkov and Pavel, there's Claudio Bardelli Jr. and Meshkov's time. 2.6 seconds gap between the two of them. Take a look at Stephen Miller in the 24 car. Right now running in the 7th position. Almeida there closing in on him, wanting to get around. Stephen Miller 3 laps down. Almeida is in 6th, just behind him. 40 laps to go. That's Dan Richter continuing to lead. Andrzejewski is in 2nd. Butsev running in the 3rd position. Meshkov is 4th. Bardelli Jr. 5th. Givaldo Spindola, man, he can just keep plugging away in that 67 car. So you see Dan Richter going by, putting him another lap down. Right now running in the 8th position is Givaldo. Stephen Miller running in 7th, 3 laps down. And then we got Ricardo Almeida The lone soldier there, 2 laps down. Hard contact for him. Dan Richter got in the back of him, and he got into the wall and had come down and make some repairs. And now 2 laps down. Richter apologizing on the radio to Ricardo. Did not intentionally get into the back of him. It was tight racing right there. So Richter now 6.3 seconds up on Radzewski. Here on lap 165. Take a look at Alexander Meshkov running in the 4th position. Brought out the first caution flag of the evening. The self-spin and been pretty solid since, but is 1 lap down in 4th. But got that car repaired, got back out on track, didn't get rattled. Now running in the 4th position. See, he's got a little work to do, 4.8 seconds behind Sergei Butsev, but he would love to get a P3. Butsev running in 3rd, Meshkov 4th, Bardelli Jr. is 5th. We'll take a look at Bardelli Jr., 6.2 seconds behind Alexander Meshkov. So Bardelli Jr., that new paint scheme. Got a TurnLeftTV logo on there. Running in P6 right now. Excuse me, in P5. Almeida now back 2 laps down. Almeida and Bardelli Jr. on the same lap. Meshkov, Butsev also on the same lap. So about an 8-second lead, a little over 8-second lead, 8.5. For Dan Richter over Pavel Radzewski. Clear sailing right now for Dan Richter. Again, this thing, we've had some pretty decent green flag runs here. We got a string of cautions there at the beginning of the race and had some good green flag runs. Guys sort of figured it out. It was a little bit loose up on the high line, about 3 lanes up. And guys were coming around, but they figured that out, dropped that down to lanes 1 and 2, and have been able to pretty well keep that car in front of them, keep it back in behind behind the driver where it's supposed to be. On Radzewski now 9.3 seconds back. He's just waiting for a mistake. Maybe Richter running into lap traffic here before long will help out a little bit. Meshkov just ahead there, running in P4, and then Meshkov wanting to stay on that just 1 lap down. On the verge of going 2 laps down. .25 laps to go. Look at Sergei Butsev here running in the 3rd position, 1 lap down. Meshkov also 1 lap down in 4th. A little bit of lap traffic now here for Dan Richter. Ten-second lead for our leader. he's closing in on Alexander Meshkov to put him another lap down. Bardelli Jr. on pit lane, taking service here late in the run. So Bardelli Jr. coming back out on track after taking pit stop. So I would suggest to you that indicates to me that he's going to be, some of these other guys are going to have to come back down pit lane as Bardelli Jr. rejoining the racing surface now in P7, 3 laps down. And this may be another thing, Almeida might have enough to be able to make it to the finish. So if Richter has to pit and Almeida does not, then we may be looking at a little bit different deal here. Remember, Almeida came down pit lane to repair his damage. He is 2 laps down. But if Dan Richter has to come down pit lane, this may end up changing things a little bit. You're on lap 182. Richter has a 10.5 second lead over Andrzejewski. Meshkov and Almeida both 2 laps down now as Almeida up to P4. Butsev, Miller, Bardelli Jr., 5, 6, and 7. Spindola running in the 8th position. So Butsev had to make a pit stop. Almeida might have enough to be able to go to the end. Richter, I don't know. It was fairly early in that run when Richter and Almeida got together. But judging from the fact that some of these other guys are coming down pit lane, I would imagine that means Dan Richter is going to have to come down pit lane. He's got an 11-second lead over Andrzejewski. That's what we want to see. Green flag pit stops, a little bit of drama. Something we've been missing here from the IndyCar series are green flag pit stops. We've had tons and tons of cautions. You see Butsev going by there. Butsev on fresh tires, getting by Dan Richter. So Butsev running in the 5th position. Gets one of those laps back. Now we got 3 cars, 2 laps down. Almeida, Meshkov, and Butsev. Now Almeida getting by Alexander Meshkov here. So Almeida going down to the bottom and getting by Alexander Meshkov. Almeida now picks up P3. $11 laps to go for Dan Richter and the Purdue University sponsored number 4 car. Alexander Meshkov indicating he's got to come down pit lane. Exactly what you're supposed to do, verbally indicate that you're coming down pit lane. We've not heard anybody else say that tonight. As Meshkov indicating he's going to be making a pit stop. Dan Richter on the move here. Does he have enough to be able to close out this race, or does he have to come down pit lane? Meshkov tucking into his pit stall, taking service. Meshkov coming back out on track. He is now 3 laps down. Running in P7. 7 laps to go for Dan Richter. Almeida's got that car up to the 3rd position, but he is 2 laps down. Butsev is in 4th, 2 laps down. Take a look at this. Sergei Butsev running in P4. That Monster Energy sponsor machine. P3 is Ricardo Almeida trying to bounce back here. Pull off a miracle. And he's going to need some help. And that means Purdue University sponsor number 4 of Dan Richter going to have to come down pit lane here for Almeida to have even a shot. Andrzejewski, 11.7 seconds behind the race leader in P2. Across the start-finish line, we have 4 laps to go. Take a look at Andrzejewski here running in the 2nd position. On the lead lap, 11.8 seconds now separating the two. Four laps to go for Dan Richter. Bardelli Jr. down to the inside here, making a light race pass here on Stephen Miller. Bardelli Jr. now up to the 5th position. Stephen Miller in 6th. Meshkov going to try to get by as well. Meshkov going down to the inside. He's going to try to get by Stephen Miller. Meshkov makes that pass. Stephen Miller now back to the 7th position. Meshkov in 6th. So last lap here for Dan Richter in that Purdue University sponsor machine. It looks like he is on his way to victory here. Andrzejewski 13 seconds down in 2nd. Dan Richter coming around the final turn and taking the victory here at Phoenix. Congratulations to Dan Richter. So the Purdue University sponsored machine for Dan Richter wins this race. Probably not the way he wanted to win it, but nonetheless gets the race win. So congratulations to Dan Richter. So big race win for the Purdue University sponsor machine, Dan Richter. We'll take a look at the final results. So we'll take a look at the final results here. Dan Richter finishes in 1st. Pavel Andrzejewski in the 2nd position. Ricardo Almeida bouncing back there, finishes in 3rd. Sergei Butsev 4th. Claudio Bardelli Jr. finishes in the 5th position. Alexander Meshkov 6th. Stephen Miller finishes in the 7th position. Givaldo Spindola finishes in 8th. Eugene Zaglotko finished in the 9th position. missing the top 10 there. I'm not sure what happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we had a 10th driver there. Not sure what happened on that one, but sometimes this thing's a little bit funky. So congratulations to Dan Richter on his race victory. Well, it's a pretty long green flag runs. That was good change of pace there. Of course, we had a lower turnout than normal. But Dan Richter came away with a race win, and probably not the way that he wanted to win there with the contact, but nonetheless, he was very apologetic, apologized during the race, and then after the race immediately apologized as well. Here, so we'll see if we can't get Dan Richter up here in the booth with us. All right, we're joined up here in the booth with by Dan Richter. Congratulations on the great win at Phoenix.
Thank you. And first things first, sorry again to Ricardo. That was my mistake. Ruined what could have been a good finish.
Yeah, it looked like early in the race there, you guys were having a pretty tight race, and then about the middle of the race, he started running away a little bit. Talk about, are there any changes that you might have made to that car to make it a little bit more competitive and close in on him?
Well, it seemed like at this track, if you were going to make a pass, you had to do it really early in the run, because if you got in the dirty air of the car in front of you, you're just going to melt your tires trying to keep up with them.
And driving, going down to below the yellow line there, which was a legal move. It seems like he kind of sucked up onto Ricardo's car and got into the back of him. You immediately apologized, but were you surprised that the caution flag did not come out?
Yeah, definitely for sure surprised there was no yellow. It looked like he made pretty hard contact. And then I don't know, I think I just maybe got over the bumps, like coming off the transition a little bit better than he did, so I was carrying a little more speed than he was right after we got over those bumps.
Well, you've been out quite a few times to race in the IndyCars. What is it about the IndyCars that you like, and which brings you out here to race with us?
Well, I'm an Indiana boy, so this is what I grew up on. This and sprint cars are what Indiana racing is about.
Absolutely. Well, we got Kansas Speedway coming up next week. Any plans to race in that? Richmond is the final race of the season. We got two interesting tracks there. You have any plans to race with us on those two?
Yep, I should be able to make Kansas. Richmond, probably not. I'm really looking forward to Kansas. That's become one of my favorite tracks.
Well, hey, congratulations. Good win. Purdue University sponsor machine in Victory Lane. Good to see it.
Thank you very much. See you next time.
All right. All right, that's Dan Richter joining us up here in the booth for a little post-race chat. So congratulations to him on getting that victory. And as we mentioned, Kansas Speedway coming up next week. Very interesting track here in the IndyCars, man. I'll tell you what, that's going to be flat out in the IndyCars. Well, coming up in just a little while, man, we'll be at Texas Motor Speedway driving some laps here with my boys. So if you're interested in joining us doing some Cup car racing, you can go to our Discord channel there if you're not already a member, or if you're watching and you're a member of our Discord channel. Texas Motor Speedway coming up here in just a little while in the Saturday Night Thunder. 133 laps from Texas in those Cup cars. Should be a lot of fun. Don't forget, next week on Friday, we'll be back at it with Iowa Speedway in the High Octane Racing League Bushwhacker Series. 125 laps from that great short track. Coming up on June the 18th, it'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to say thank you so much for coming out and watching me here on TurnLeftTV, watching the race. It got a little interesting. We had a little bit lower turnout there. Again, I think we had an endurance race. Somebody was messaging me earlier on Discord, I think yesterday, and said that they wouldn't be able to make it to the race because they had an endurance race here today, 24-hour endurance race. So that took a lot of drivers away, but hopefully next week at Kansas we'll be back to normal, 15, 20 drivers. But hey, thanks so much for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Well, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to take the dog for a W-A-L-K. I can't say it because it knows. And we'll see you next time. Until then, you know what that means. That means I am out of here.